It's the 25th of May here today, and well, I suppose it's probably the 25th of May a lot of places. We've come out of a couple days of rain, not constant rain, really only about half a centimeter of rain, but enough to bring these dandelions out in full force. Look at that. The beekeeper's never seen more beautiful sight than that, except a big fat queen. I guess that's more beautiful. So one thing you know in the spring, as your bees are building up and getting stronger, you get a couple of days that are cooler or rainy, and not so cool is even worse. Your bees are confined and they're cooped up inside. They get jumpy, and then in the next day or two, then they'll start to swarm. I don't think I have that problem here. My hives are not progressing quite that far yet. Our spring was very cold for a long time, and so the bees are, I estimate, at least 2 weeks behind, maybe 3. So I should not have swarm preparations for a little while yet. But today I'm taking stock to see where everybody is. If I have energy, I'm going to collect these pails. They don't need pails anymore because the dandelions are out. And I'm going to set down a couple of salvage hives. I've got some comb building going on. I've got my mini mating nuke frames on some stronger colonies. I'm going to check on those to see if they're actually drawing those out as planned. And we're going to check the salvage hives and probably set those down onto their own bottom board now. I did peek the other day and they look really good. So we'll get at it. And hope you stick around and watch the video, and thank you again for watching. This is one of my stronger hives. So when I was around last time, I placed these mediums on here. These mediums have inside my mini mating nuke frames just for a pre-draw exercise. Let's see how they've been doing. I don't imagine they're done, but I just like to keep an eye on what's happening. They're stuck to the patty that's under the frame. Well, they're, as I had feared, they're drawing comb right up in the center between these. More than on the frame, actually. Oh no. Oh no. See, they're drawing comb on the end of these frames. Not what I had in mind, ladies. I can't put them back in now. They don't listen to me. What am I saying? That center gap there is right above the brood chamber, so they're more likely to build up in there. Well, I'm gonna leave them alone. I do want to look in the bottom though, so I'll just take this box right off. I have a feeling it's a good day to get stung. Okay. I think today I'm going to take the opportunity to take my Apivar strips out. I'm just past the minimum time, and it's been very warm, and I'm here. This is a box of bees by Cracky. She's right full. I'll get that drone frame out maybe first. Oh, she's right full of drones. Maybe I should look under this one. You have to be real careful when you're beekeeping in shorts. Yeah, that's a box of bees for sure. Okay, so I'll smoke those up a little. Got some nice orange pollen. That might be the dandelions. So we're looking good here still. And they don't even have drones down here because they have their drone frame. They've put everything in there. So they've got a cup on the face of this one. We'll see. There's a few. We'll see if there's anything in those cups. Just check quickly for the queen. Yeah, she's laid right up end to end. They need a second box. Nothing in those cups. All right. So that's my story frame. That's my drone frame. Drones on the sides where it's foundationless, workers in the middle. And there's not an empty cell. There's a pupa, a larva, or an egg in every cell. So we have these cups here. We want to look in them. If there's nothing in them, then that's what they mean. They mean nothing. Don't get concerned about them. They're not practicing. They're doing what they do. That's what bees do. Okay. I don't really need to check a lot farther, but I am going to look at these outside frames. There's another cup. Oh, right in the back of the leg. Ouch. Boy, she hit me hard. You wonder why they call it a sting, right? Boy, is there a sting, it burns. She's not laid that up yet. So we're still okay there. But she definitely needs an extra box. And we'll accommodate. See, that's complete feed frame there. Okay, she's not bursting the seams yet, but there is not a lot of empty space. The lid is glued down not too badly, so they're not full, but they definitely are doing well. Seems to be over here. Yeah, the drone frame is laid up. Drones and worker brood, both sides solid. Wow, that's what you want to see. So let's set that down. This is laid right up here. Eggs in the empty cells, all full. Beautiful. This one is all feed, which is what I would expect. So these are kind of empty on this end, so hopefully she has a mind to move over here. Because that's all nectar. Shift the brood nest that way. They're on their way. Explanation here. I'm going to make a split. Little unorthodox maybe. It's not your typical split that you're going to use maybe a couple frames of brood and make a nuke out of. Add a mated queen, that sort of thing. But I'm going to make a split regardless. What I've got here is I've got a very strong double. I've put another box up here. This is the second box that I took off. So we've got lots of brood. They're pollen bound. We've got lots of feed. We've got a great dandelion flow going right now. So what I want to do here is I need to find the queen. This is a double. There's 20 frames. I have looked through a little bit. I didn't see her, but that's okay. We can make a split anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all of the bees in the second box into the first box. I'll use this box here as a shaker funnel. I'll just shake the bees into that, and then what I'll do is I'll put a queen excluder. So if I get all the bees in the bottom box, the queen is one of those bees, so she'll be there. I don't know which box she's in. I suspect she's in the top box because generally they'll lay top at this time of year here. So it takes a few minutes. It's not a big deal. It just saves time to be looking for that queen for, 20 frames, you could look for that queen a long time. I know how long it's going to take me to shake them in there, and it's not that long. And what I did as I tipped this up, I looked at the bottom, checking for swarm cells. There are none, so we're in good shape there. So we've got this box here now, and this third box is going to sit on top of a cover right here, and there shouldn't really be anything on the frames because I'm going to take them out of the second, shake them, and place the empty frames in there. There's brood on those frames, so it's a reasonably warm day. I don't want that brood to be out too long, but I should be okay timing wise. So we'll take this frame out. It's mostly feed. It's kind of heavy. It's got a lot of larvae. I'm going to quickly look at each frame because if I see the queen, get her in the bottom box, I'm done shaking. Right? Because that's the whole idea. I need to move the queen down. So if I see her, then I'm done shaking. This is all nectar. And if there's a bee or two on there, deal. You need to get the queen. So if you got a half dozen bees, you can look at that and easily tell if one of them is a queen. These are nice looking frames. She's laying really well. See, there's the queen. There's my queen right here. So I'll shake her in the bottom. I'll be kind of gentle. Okay, nice green queen. So I'll just shake enough to get her off of there. So she's gone. Now I can go back, put my frames back in the original box. See, it wasn't that easy. Put these back in here. So now I have no queen, I have nurse bees, maybe field bees in the top. I'm going to shake this one off, just give it a wrap. The bees hate that and they sting me in the legs. Go up my shorts too, holy smokes. Sting me in the back of the leg. Okay, so our queen is in there. We put this on here. Then we put our second back on it. It's already got a lot of bees in it, but we'll just wait overnight and then we'll take that off, and that'll be a queenless split. There's quite a bit of brood in here. And that's a real easy way to make splits. So overnight, the nurse bees and chiefly nurse bees are going to come up into here, keep this brood warm, feed the open larva, whatnot. Tomorrow I'll come here, I'll take this box, which I know will be queenless, set it likely right there, and then I'll actually put another second on here because this colony is bursting at the seams. So this is either a salvage or a combine. It's hard to tell which. That lid is really glued on. It's a good sign. Population looks excellent. Seem to be enjoying that patty still. Not so much that one. It's all nectar, both sides. There's feed all the way out here. They've come through the paper, I can easily see. Cleaning out these stores. Don't see any eggs in there. No, this was a combine. There's no queen excluder. So we've combined 2 colonies. I could probably do the same as the last one, make a part of it into a queenless builder. Queenless split. She's laying in a double, you know. Look, all these frames to look through. Empty space galore. No eggs and larvae, and yet she's laying in the bottom box or something. I just don't like doubles. Singles, man, you can tell what's going on in an instant. With less than half as much work. A lot of beekeepers, you know, went from doubles to singles. And they all say, I'll never go back. But I've never met one who went to doubles and said, you know, I really miss all that extra work, extra expense. Never heard one say that. Doubles, you're forever doing this. Take that heavy box off. Over to the side so you can look at the bottom box. Get stung at the same time. Oh! Catching it today. Son of a gun. No, this may be a combine, but it's not an overcrowded hive like the other one. She hasn't even laid the drones yet. So, yeah, they don't deserve any extras. I haven't seen any laying yet. Maybe they killed her. Kind of grumpy. The eggs. Alright, I must be right on the edge of the bird nest then. Hard time seeing eggs this year. 1 more year older, eh? Older every year. I think it's queenless. Combine didn't go so well, I guess. Okay, well, that's maybe a good candidate for my builder. That's about all I'm going to do today out here. I didn't video anywhere near everything I did. I completed about 2/3 of my apiary today. I'll leave something for tomorrow. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of cleanup to do. One thing that's kind of exciting here is I've been wanting to do my grafting this year to raise my queens, and so for that I need to make a queenless builder, a cell builder. And so that's a 10 frame box, and I haven't decided if I want to build a double or a single. I don't know how many queens I would like to raise at one time. I have enough mating nukes for 40, but I don't think that's necessary. I'd like to stage them, and the reason I'd like to stage them throughout time is that if you have a batch of queens, whether you have 10 or 100, and they're all going to emerge in your mating nukes at the same time, they're all going to want to be mating about the same time. And that shouldn't be a problem as far as drone populations and that sort of thing goes. But what can be a problem is if you get a good long stretch of cold or rainy weather, which the crazy weather we're getting these days, that's a distinct possibility, then you have that whole batch of queens trying to mate at the same time, and which means you have that whole batch of queens not mating at the same time, or mating very poorly. My queens mated rather poorly last year. My mating success was very poor. The ones that did mate, many of them weren't very good. So the strategy I think would be a good one to use is to stage the queen production throughout time, so that just to mitigate the impact of a stretch of cold or rainy weather. So you can do a few queens, 10 or 15, maybe 20 queens one day, and then wait a few days and then graft another 10 or 15 or 20 queens. Stretch that out so that if one batch hits bad weather, maybe the next batch won't. So I haven't really decided how many I want to graft and build at one time. I would like to produce a lot of queens, so I don't think I should underestimate what I should do here. But regardless, that's something to be decided tonight. If this builder goes well, I'd like to perhaps graft into it tomorrow. That's Tuesday. It might be Wednesday before I do. This is my first time, so I have a lot of things to make sure I have prepared and worked out before I do that. So thanks for joining me in the apiary today. I'm gonna go have some supper, and stay well, stay safe, stay home if you can. We're getting through this. Ride it out. We're doing good. Do what you're doing and have fun.